start by apologizing to town meeting for not coming formally dressed for this position. But I was recruited at about 7:30 this evening. So, with that, do we have a motion under Article 27?
Mr.
Murphy.
Moderator, I move to consider Article 28 out of sequence to allow proper time for Article 27.
I'll leave in the hall.
I'm not sure I'm authorized to.
Motion is to take the 28 out of order. Now, once again, this requires a 4/5 vote on the motion to take Article 28 out of order. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of taking Article 28 out of order, please say aye. Those opposed? Oh, I guess it didn't get the necessary 4/5, that's for sure. Do we need to count? I guess we do need to count.
Why do we want to take that over?
Mr. Moderator, withdraw the motion.
I didn't understand the question, Mrs. Marlin. Why do we want to take Article 28 out of order? Mr. Pierce.
Yes, Article 27 is a longer article. There's a presentation that's associated with it. We're short of time. And the thought was to dispense with the two articles because they're quick articles, and then we could just concentrate on this article without having to go through two quick ones afterwards. The idea was just to speed the process up a little bit.
Well, the chair will agree to an irregular procedure called a revote. On the motion to take Article 28 up at this time, the alternative would be to postpone Article 27 until after Article 29. But on the motion to take up Article 28 at this time, Mr. Simons.
Is the intention to put this off until Thursday, or
No, the intention is to take up the articles that don't take up much time first, so that we can get started with Article 27 before 11 o'clock.
The intention is to include town meeting back?
That's right, that's the intent.
That is the intention.
The intent is to
dispense with these articles, get into 27, and town meeting will adjourn tonight.
So we'll try it again. On the motion to take up Article 28 at this time, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Unanimous. Thank you.
Mr. Moderator,
In the name of saving time, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Moderator, I move to accept the layout of Bridal Way and Lady Slipper Lane as specified in Article 28 as printed in the warrant, and to authorize the acquisition by purchase, gift, eminent domain or otherwise, the fee of the property within said way, and to further raise and appropriate the sum of $1 for said purchase.
All right, the motion is to accept the layout of 30 Way and Lady Slipper Lane as specified in Article 28 and to appropriate the sum of $1. This requires a two-thirds vote. On the motion as presented, does anybody want me to read the motion again? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. Mr. Murphy.
Mr. Moderator, I move to consider Article 29 out of sequence and allow proper time for Article 27.
Are you aware of the fact that
Maybe they won't.
on the motion to take up Article 29 at this time, this is the same thing. All those in favor of taking up Article 29 at this time, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? No. Unanimous. Well, you know, 7 voters standing at their places can challenge the vote of the moderator.
Mr. Moderator, I move to appropriate the sum of $16,000 for the purpose of installing a water main in Boat Street and transfer $16,000 from the Stickman Fund to balance the cost of the project to be borne by the abutters.
The motion is to appropriate the sum of $16,000 for the purpose of installing a water main in Boat Street and transfer $16,000 from the Stickney Fund. The balance of the cost of the project is to be borne by the abutters. Is there any further? Does the Finance Committee have a recommendation? Time out.
It's handed the wrong motion. The Board of Selectmen unanimously believes that the entire $32,000 should be transferred from the Stickman Fund. The motion was to transfer $16,000 from the Stickney Fund to fund the water main and have the remainder be borne by the abutters. The Board of Selectmen unanimously voted to have $32,000 taken from the Stickney Fund to fund the project.
So what happens to the motion in front of the chair?
Moderator, I'd like to withdraw the motion.
With unanimous consent, a motion can be withdrawn. Hearing no objections, I allow Mr. Murphy to withdraw the motion.
Mr. Moderator, I move to appropriate the sum of $32,000. Just have to check, make sure I got a nod of the head that was right. $32,000 for the purpose of installing a water main in Boat Street. Transfer $32,000 from the Stickney Fund for the cost of the project.
The motion is to appropriate the sum of $32,000 for the purpose of installing a water main in Boat Street and transfer $32,000 from the Stickney Fund for the purpose of the project. I mean, this is the same $32,000. The chair is a little bit confused about that. Mr. Sturtevant.
Yes, Mr. Moderator, the Finance Committee would like to offer an amendment to that article to clarify what you're confused about. The Finance Committee would like to appropriate the sum of $16,000 and transfer said sum from the Stickney Fund for the purpose of installing a water main into Boat Street for the purpose of placing a fire hydrant at the end. The balance of the cost not to exceed 50% of the final cost to be borne by the abutters.
Basically, this is a motion to amend by deleting the entire original motion and replacing it with a motion that Mr. Sturtevant just read. Mr. Sturtevant, do you wish to speak to your motion?
Just a quick clarification. We had in the past said that we would not be transferring any further funds from the Stickney Fund. We want to put a betterment program in place. This will help push that along as forth to have a 50-50 split, which is what the betterment program would be working towards in the beginning.
Mr. Murphy.
The board has just begun the betterment program process. Mr. Hanlon is going to report back to the board. We'll have an article before town meeting in October. We've never had any of the prior owners for these types of projects bear that much of the cost, and the DOR also recommended the betterment program. So we're moving forward with that. We believe we should move forward with this project, $32,000 funded from the state. Thank you.
Okay, the motion is to amend the main motion under Article 29 to read as follows. I move to appropriate the sum of $16,000 and transfer said sum from Stickney Fund for the purpose of installing a water main in Boat Street. The balance of the cost not to exceed 50% of the final cost to be borne by the abutters. You've heard the motion to amend. Do you wish to speak to the motion to amend, sir?
Is that going to be the final vote, or is
We don't know. Right now, the immediately pending motion is the motion to amend, which is Mr. Sturtevant's motion to change it back to $16,000. After we vote on the amendment, we may either have $32,000 in front of us or $16,000. I cannot predict what your vote is going to be.
Well, the only question I have, is it an accepted street?
The question is it an accepted street? Mr. Murphy, is it an accepted street?
No, it is not.
The answer is no.
Does the town usually pay for water mains and down?
Town has in the past and has used the stimuli fund to fund that. This is the book. I personally, when I spoke to this article, I will not fund another one of these. I felt it was inappropriate to just cut this person off. These were going forward with the betterment program. We have to commit to that. We believe we should fund this article as we have in the past articles and move forward. The Finance Committee, when we did the last one, prior to town meeting, they made their commitment not to fund another one, the one before this one. We didn't make that commitment. We're making that commitment now. So next one will be a 50-50 split. Thank you.
On the motion to amend, Mrs. Brown, is it?
I just wanted to know, how many people are on Boat Street?
Mr. Murphy?
There are 6 homes.
Is this a contracted development type of thing where the betterments for in like sidewalks?
No, there are public, there are drinking water issues on that street as it relates to the density, and they're using well water and the size of the lots, etc. So there are public health issues and there are fire issues because they are a great distance from the nearest hydrant. We'd like the homes to be within 500 feet of a hydrant. This area is not. So it's to address public safety, public health, and the need for water on that street.
Mr. Pasquale?
Mr. Moderator, I'm not voting in favor of the amendment to change. I'm going to vote for the $32,000 out of the safety fund. The reason is, I sat with Mr. O'Leary, who generally gave us the money. I was in the room. We gave him the check. So we said generous select. He gave us a couple of $1 million, and that we don't have that kind of money. But I've watched through the years, and everybody else is, where's the safety money go? And we've done everything with it. Now, I had a fire in my house, as most people know. And the chief was here, and he can tell you, they can't get the fire trucks over there in 7 to 8 minutes. I don't care what anybody says. This is a major safety issue, not only to the residents on that street, but look at the other streets. So I say spend this at $32,000. Then in October, if they come up with this other plan, my suggestion would be then take it out of that and you can reimburse it back into the state. But vote for the 32. Let's not cut this thing between 16 from that, 16 from that. Bite the bullet, give them the $32,000, and let's treat all the residents and bring the safety issue forward. So I don't want to see it amended, please. And vote no against the amendment.
On the motion to amend, is there any further discussion? Hearing none. The motion to amend is the motion by Mr. Sturtevant to reduce the amount to $16,000. On the motion to amend, this requires a simple majority. On the motion to amend, all those in favor of amending, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? No. The motion is lost. We are back to the main motion as presented, which is to appropriate the sum of $32,000. Is there any further discussion on the main motion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? No. Carried. And I think this does not require a 2/3 vote, so the voice vote will be sufficient. And at this point, the chair will once again hand over the gavel to the town clerk for the purpose of finding another moderator.